Welcome to Stress Release Yoga. I'm Christy. Let's take a breath. So if you ever have those days where you're just not really sure where to go with your yoga practice, with any kind of a self-care routine that you're trying to work into your day. So this morning I was meditating and my brain was like, do. Some days I have like these really wonderful meditation practices. Today was not one of them. But luckily it was a nice morning and I just sat outside and listened to the birds. So we can get a little rigid about our practices and just trying to force ourselves into these things. So it's just a good reminder when things are not going smoothly, like my meditation practice, is to just really take note of how you are in the moment and maybe just quiet down and tune into your body and observe what you're feeling. So if it's not a great day to have like a really quiet, eyes closed meditation practice, maybe there's something in particular that you need to ponder, or just pay attention to what you're hearing, or really just taking a little time to look at the nature out your window, whatever. So in a movement practice as well, just taking some time to be quiet and notice how your body is. And just see if something's like really calling to you. And so that may be energy-wise, you're tired, maybe you need to take it a little bit easy, or you've got excess energy to burn, so you're gonna use that in some way. A lot of times I like to start with a standing forward fold because that'll give me information about how my back is, how my legs are, what's going on. I typically like to start with a wide leg fold, but some days I like to do my knees bent and fold forward and round my back a bit. So let's just start with feet wide, take a breath, and maybe you've already started to notice some things that are going on, like I can definitely feel neck and shoulders. And we're gonna just ease our way forward, and then you're gonna pay attention to how tight are my legs, do I need to bend my knees, am I gonna have hands on my legs here? And I have to go really slow just because of my back issues. I like to see what's happening and take my time and let my back adjust to being in a different position. Ooh, all right, I just got a nice little crack in my spine. Confirmation that this was a good choice this morning. Move your head a little bit here. And so if it's not a good day to be in this position, you can always come back up. But if you're okay here, then you can just hang out. So again, rather than having all these expectations about how we're going to practice, just slowing it down. And does it feel good to hang out there in that spot, or do you need to change it? All right, coming all the way up to standing. Let's circle shoulders. Notice how they are. And then reach your arms out. I'm going to stretch those hands out to either side. And then what's going on with your feet? So try to engage the legs a little bit, let your tailbone drop down, lift your spine up, just reaching your hands out. And then all the way up, shoulders down, reaching arms up. We're going to take the right hold of the right wrist, bend a little bit to the left side. And on back to center. Hang on the left wrist, bend a little bit to your right side. And then back to center. We're going to release the hands and fold forward again. Taking as much time as you need. Ease your way in. So if you're okay with hands coming behind you here, we're going to try to stretch the shoulders. Bring hands to your low back, interlace fingers, see if you can pull hands up and away from the body. And then let your hands come on down. Turn your heels in and your toes out, and we're going to try to bring it down into a squat. Then you might need to adjust where your feet are. They need to be a little closer or a little farther apart. And then hands together. If it feels okay to round, you can exaggerate, sort of rounding in. Maybe walk your hands forward a bit. And then we're gonna try to twist a little bit. Oh, it's a little early for this, right? I can feel things are tight. We're gonna try to do left arm on the inside of that left thigh, right arm. I feel like I'm really not in the right spot here. Like I need to stretch out a little bit more, but I'm just going with it, seeing what happens here. Right arm out. Come on in, right arm on the inside of the right thigh, left arm is gonna expand out. And then the hand's gonna come back, arm's gonna come back in, take another breath here. And then start to straighten your legs, coming back into a standing forward fold. Walk your feet a little closer together. Explore how that is. And then we're gonna inhale all the way up. Reach arms up overhead, let hands touch overhead. Exhale, hands down to the heart, take a nice full breath. And then again, just trying to tap into how you are. Let's do feet next. So just with your feet lined up, and then we're gonna step right foot back. So heels up, the toes come down. Getting a little pressure down onto your toes. Sometimes I will do the heel a little lower to the mat and then bring it up. Look up and down a few times. You can also play with kind of shifting your weight. Maybe it's kind of like you're drawing a circle with the heel, moving that pressure across the toes and the ball of the foot. And that's just going to depend on how everything is feeling there. And then we're going to flip it over onto the tops of the toes, a little pressure down on the tops of the toes. And same thing, you might be able to bring your heel down a little bit more, scrunching your toes up a little bit more, and then bring the heel up, sort of lengthening out the front of the foot, and ankle. And there also might be a little bit of side to side motion here. And breathing. And then we're gonna, oh yeah, that felt good. All right, I'm gonna bring it back onto the bottoms of my toes and give another little stretch here. Woo. All right, and then just let your foot come up. So you might just kind of need to let it hang out, or you might need to like wiggle your toes, maybe rotate your ankle around a little bit. And then we'll take it to the other side. Right? It's like I forget sometimes how tight my feet are when I've been in shoes too much. Or for me, it's like I'm not eating the right thing. I've been eating gluten lately, which is not great for my inflammation. All right, we're gonna take left foot back, toes down. So I think my feet get a little tight, like a little puffy. I love eating bread. All right, so toes down, heel up, and then again, you wanna roll down onto your heel. And so there's so many little subtle things like that, like we eat something that doesn't really completely agree with our bodies, whether, we're already, no, let's do the bottoms of the toes here. You know, or just how stressful our days or our weeks have been. All right, coming onto the tops of the toes can all affect just those little sensations in the body. And so we want to witness that and go with it, rather than always having this exact plan about where we're going. I want to try to tune into how am I really, what do I really need? And then we're going to flip over, back onto the bottoms of the toes, a little pressure down. We're going to release, and again, maybe you're just going to let that foot kind of hang out up off the floor for a moment. All right, no balance on this side. Or you can wiggle your toes and rotate around. So I think that's where we start to get injured a lot, and we start to stress ourselves out more when we just have this plan that we're sticking to regardless of how we're feeling. I think that we really get more benefit when we try to pay attention to how we are and figure out what we need from there. All right, let's roll shoulders a little bit, a couple more times. And then we're gonna do warrior one and humble warrior. Hands on your hips, we're gonna take the right foot back, so the left foot's gonna be forward. Bend in your left knee, let your right foot turn out of it. We're looking forward. So try to take this back leg and press it out straight, pressing your foot into the floor. The front knee bends, and then I felt like I need to move mine a little farther out to the side. So again, feeling what's happening to try to avoid injuries. So you want to look for that alignment. So feeling the sensations, trying to know where your body is. And then sometimes you look and it's not quite where you thought it was. But try to get used to feeling where your body is. And then arms come on up, shoulders down. So that back foot, just notice, sometimes I'll start to roll onto that arch side of the foot, big toe side of the foot. Try to press that whole foot down. The whole padding of the foot is down on the floor. And then into a humble warrior, bring the hands behind you, interlace your fingers, pull hands down. So we're gonna try to keep this knee bent and pointing towards the center of the left foot. Lift the spine up, pull the hands down. On an exhale, start to lean towards the thigh. So engaging that thigh, trying to keep that knee pretty much above your ankle. If you can get onto the thigh, you can rest there. If you're able to drop past the inside of the thigh, you're just gonna drop down. And breathe. And then you want to pay attention to how you are, what changes you might need to make, and then how long you're staying here. And then inhale, come all the way up. We're going to bring arms up overhead, shoulder blades stay down. Hands touch. All right, we're gonna try to come into a warrior three. I don't think I usually do this on video because I don't do it well, but we're gonna give it a whirl. All right, so hands together. We're gonna bring the body onto the thigh. And then you're gonna use that back foot and try to push up. Bring that back leg up. Try to keep your hips level, pull those raised toes in towards the knee. You can try to do arms forward, or arms out to your side. And then when you're ready, come on down, take a breath. I'm gonna take a sip of water. And then we're just recentering. So those good breaths out, a little relaxation. And then with hands on the hips, feet are lined up. So we're taking into warrior one. Left foot steps back. So now right foot's forward. Get your footing. And then try to observe in your mind's eye, where is that knee? Then you can look to see if it's where you think it is. Turn my foot a little bit there, straighten it out a bit. Arms up, shoulders down. Breathe. So again, what's happening with your back foot? I was leaning a little bit onto the arch side, so try to press that outer edge down if you're doing what I am. Try to get that whole foot down into the floor. Hands down behind you. Interlace fingers. And pull hands towards the floor. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward, humble warrior. And then come on up. Arms reach up overhead. And then we're going to try to come into that warrior three. Hands together. Bring the body onto the thigh. And then we're going to try to lift up. Then I'm going to try to fix myself here. All right. So pulling the abdomen in. So raised toes are coming in towards that knee. This is like I'm bending a little bit, bending the knee a little bit. If you're ready, come on back. Take a breath, check out your legs. And then a wide leg forward fold. Just letting your back lift. Then we're going to bend. So I'm going to take my feet a little wider here. Inner leg, bend in your right knee. Let your left inner leg drop a little lower to the floor. So today I feel like I can come down. A lot of days I can't come down anywhere near this low. So just again, be in the moment. Do you want to be low? Or do you just want to bend a little bit, letting that leg drop down? And breathe. And then we're going to take it to the other side. This side feels good. It's been tight, so it's nice when you get to that spot where it's starting to loosen up and stretching, it feels good. All right, so other side, we're going to see what happens here. And in your left knee, again, letting the inner right leg drop towards the floor. Find your spot and breathe out. Center, that wide leg fold. And inhale all the way up. You're gonna walk feet together. Take a breath. Shake out your legs. All right, let's try to do sun salute. We're gonna line those feet up at the top of the mat. Stand up nice and tall. Inhale, arms up overhead, so giving this nice big stretch up. Exhale, arms out to shoulder height. Start to fold from your hips, let your hands travel down, coming into standing forward fold. Inhale into half lift, pull the chest forward. Exhale, fold in, bend both knees. We're gonna walk the feet back to a downward facing dog. So if you can get your hands flat on the floor here, you can already start to line your wrists up and spread your fingers out. And then step your feet back and observe, are your hands really in the right spot? Do you need to shift them a bit? Let's try to do, so we're just gonna throw in a leg lift here. Bring one leg up into the air. And then change sides. And they're gonna let that foot come down. Come on into plank. Double check your wrists. And then if you're using knees come down. Arms hug the rib cage, come on down slowly. Flatten out. Forehead towards the mat, hands below your shoulders. Press into your hands. It doesn't matter how high you lift, you want to pay attention to the sensation. Try to squeeze those elbows in and down. You can look to your right, back to center, look to your left, back to center, and to child's pose or downward facing dog. And then we're gonna walk feet back up to our hands. And back into standing forward fold. Take a breath. Inhale all the way up. Reach arms up overhead. Hands touch. And exhale them on down to the heart. Take a big full breath. All right, an extended side angle. Turn your face the long edge of the mat. Feet wide. We're gonna turn toes to the right. Bending in the right knee. And feel your spine lifting up. Arms come on up to shoulder height, shoulder blades down. Leaning into extended side angle. So you can turn the front of the body away from the floor. So press that left foot down into the floor. It's like you're trying to pull that leg out from your hip and you're trying to stretch the spine or the torso in the opposite direction. And then we're gonna come back to center. Turning feet. Right foot turns in, left foot turns out. Bend in left knee. Tailbone down, spine up, arms at shoulder height. And then leaning into extended side angle. So now pressing that right foot into the floor. And then we're gonna come back up, hands on hips, wide leg fold. And then we're gonna bring those feet a little closer together to bring it back into a squat. So heels about hip distance apart, heels in, toes out. Drop your hips down. Let me see if we can do this twist again. Still not going well today. Okay, I can reach the floor here, so I'm gonna use the floor. So we're gonna twist into the right side, right arm is out from the shoulder. My feet aren't ending up in the right place here today. All right, so we're gonna bring right arm onto the inside of the thigh. I'm gonna use my hand again on the floor. Breathing, twisting to your left side. It still feels like I'm getting benefits, and that's really all I care about. And then we're gonna come on back to the center. So right, it's really about not hurting yourself and trying to create some positive change. The exact placement is not so important as long as you're not hurting yourself. All right, back into a forward fold. We're gonna inhale all the way up, sweep arms up overhead, hands touch, bring them on down to the heart, take a breath. And then we're gonna bring it into a dancer pose. So standing on both feet, tighten up the legs, lift up the spine, shift your weight onto your left foot. See if you can get hold of your right foot, bringing the foot behind you. Again, observe how this feels. If you'd rather do a tree, same thing. Feet level, engage legs, right foot comes up. And breathe. And we'll let your hands come on down. Take a breath, check it out. So maybe you're noticing, like I am, the parts of the body that feel pretty good and pretty loose today, and the parts of the body that feel pretty tight. So some things are moving better than usual, and some things are not. So I always find it interesting to watch what shifts All right, so taking it to the side too. We're gonna lean on the right foot, so engaging your legs, putting your weight onto your right foot. Bring your left foot up. Again, if you're coming into a dancer pose on this side, grabbing the foot. Opposite arm comes out in front. And then if you're gonna do a tree instead, or maybe it's just like, right, like maybe like those couple seconds in dancer was enough. You're coming into a tree, left foot up. Trying to turn your toes down. I'm trying to find that center point. All right, there we go. And then we're gonna come on down, take a big breath. All right, let's see if we can do a hand to big toe pose. So again, getting steady on your feet, shift your weight into your left foot. We're gonna bring the right foot up. If you can get hold of the big toe. So you're just gonna hold your foot, pull the leg up, work on balancing here. If you get the big toe, then the left arm comes out. Then you're gonna try to extend your right arm, the right leg out to the right side. Lifting the spine up, feeling your breath. And then trying to come down before you fall over. And then we'll do the other side. So on both feet, engage the legs, shift your weight onto your right foot. We're gonna bring left foot up. Try to get hold of the big toe. Right arm extends out. And then left leg's going out to the side. Lifting the spine up. And breathing. I can feel my leg drifting forward there, but my balance was better there than on the other side. All right, coming on back, we're gonna shake it out. Take a breath. Line your feet up at the top of the mat. So ready to just lie down here. I don't know about you. I love that sensation, right? When my stress level really comes down. Makes me very happy. So again, just like my meditation practice didn't go well this morning, I can't always get to that place where I'm calm. But today I'm feeling it, so I want to enjoy that. Take it in, notice it. All right, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms out to shoulder height, fold from the hips. And so then that's gonna, depend also like how you're gonna finish up your practice, is how you're feeling. Do you still have a lot of energy? Or are you really getting into that nice calm state and you just want to really enjoy that calmness and really support and encourage that calm sensation? Lifting up in a half lift, chest forward. And exhale, folded. We're going to walk it back to downward facing dog. And then if you're doing a vinyasa, and lining your wrists up. Mine never seem to be in line. And then if you're using knees down, come down carefully. Find your back bend. I'm going to do a Sphinx here. First one did not feel so great in the first cobra, so I'm going to do a Sphinx. Resting on lower arms, pulling shoulders back. And then just try to let that lower body relax if you're in a Sphinx. And then let's do a half frog. So we're gonna bring that right knee up to about hip height. So you can be on your lower arms or you can be flatter if you like. Just right knee up at about hip height. The leg is bent, the inner leg is facing the floor. So you're getting a little inner hip opening. So again, just trying to soften down into the floor here. This one I like because if I stay on my lower arms, I feel like I kind of get double duty. I can feel it. Working a little bit on opening up my shoulders, as well as the hip. And I can even feel just that gentle low back bend. All right, and then we're going to change sides. So bring this right leg straight, left leg going up to the height, and soften. And then we're going to bring the left leg back. And then we're going to press back into child's pose. All right, if you're gonna do, I think I'm gonna do a reclining pitch. I don't really like pitching that much these days. Some days I have a good day and pitching it feels awesome. All right, so I'll give it a whirl, I'll see what happens. But I have a pretty good feeling I'm gonna switch into reclining pitching very quickly. But I do find that I often get into, I think it's kind of weird, but I find that I get into a more comfortable pigeon pose if I start it from down dog. I don't know why exactly that is, but there's something about how I can, because I get deeper, which you would think would be more intense, but somehow a lot of times it's a better position for me. All right, so if you're gonna do it from down dog, you're gonna come into down dog. I like to kick the leg up, so you can bring your right foot up towards the ceiling, so you can get that stretch in the left leg there. And then you're gonna bring the right knee, bend it, bring it forward, so you're gonna kind of come into a plank. Then you're right, your right foot to drop down on the left side of your mat. Let the shin and then the knee come down. And then walk your left leg backward. Right, so it's a much deeper position for me than when I move in from hands and knees, but somehow it just hits me in a better spot. So I do find that sort of odd. So if you're back bending, you can walk your hands back. They can be on your leg, you know, wherever you get to. I'm just trying to stretch back a bit. And then you can stay on your hands, which again is often my preferred spot these days when I can do a pigeon. Or you can come down onto your lower arms. See how that all goes. Ooh, there's a tight spot. So I'm at my breaking point there. So if you want a little longer, hang out a little longer, pause the video, take a few more breaths if you're ready. You can come back up onto your hands if on your lower arms. I like to push the body forward a bit using my back toes. And then you can try to come back into a down dog. And then bring the left foot up. Get that deeper stretch in your right leg. And then we're going to bend the knee, bring it forward, let the left foot come down to the right side, the left shin comes down, then the knee, and then the right leg walks back. And then you can do your back bend again and feel like, oh, it's more very awkward on this side to come into this back bend. Oh, all right, where's my spot? I'm not quite sure. So you can play a little bit. I'm feeling like I want to look over to my left side. So so I can shift my weight a little bit to the right. So it's helping me hit that sweet spot on the left side. Breathing. End point here. So I'm just going to swing out from here. If you want to come back into your down dog, or again, you need a little longer on this side and hang out. If you're ready, you can just swing out. You can come on out, your choice. And I'm going to shift onto my back. And so if you're just swinging out like I did, then maybe you're going to bring that left foot up towards the ceiling and give a little pull in that way. Take it into a reclining pigeon. So just a few breaths here, adjusting to being on the back. What did I say? Reclining twist. I'm not sure what words actually came out of my mouth there, but reclining twist. All right, so with feet on the floor, we're going to do arms out about shoulder height. Crossing legs, bring your left leg, cross it over your right. We're going to let those legs drop over to the right side. Soften the abdomen. And then just try to sink down into the floor. And then come on back to center. And pull your knees in. And then we're going to take the legs over to the left side, so if you're crossing, and the right leg comes over the left leg. Legs drop to the left side. To center. If you're pulling the knees in, first observe how your low back is. Then if it feels okay, then maybe you're going to go a little deeper into a happy baby, grabbing hold of your feet. Shavasana. So you can choose, if you're comfortable enough, to be in a reclining cobbler's pose, soles of the feet together, knees out to the sides. Or you can have your feet on the floor or legs out straight. Then wherever you want your arms to be. And then start to focus your mind on the sensations in the body. Observing if you're really comfortable. or not. And feel your breath flowing in and out of the body. Feeling the body soften on the exhales. Perhaps observe the sounds in the room, the sounds around you. And feel your body held by the floor. Observe how you are in this moment. And maybe wiggle your fingers, maybe move your feet around a little bit. Wiggling fingers and toes, rotating wrists and ankles. Your head can turn to one side and then to the other. Pull back to center, arms can reach up overhead. And we can roll to one side. Into a seated position. Yeah. Hands up the heart. Big full inhale. Exhale out. Thank you for being here and sharing in this practice today. Namaste.